Hello and welcome to a very special holiday episode of Generation Shadow, the epic supernatural saga that takes you through the entirety of horror history, one nightmare at a time. And this nightmare is a Yuletide nightmare. It is a 1977 New York nightmare. It is entitled Disco Santa's Cocaine Christmas. We will be experiencing this wild holiday with a very wild Santa Claus in just a little bit. But first, before we take care of those debts that insert our characters into the world, let's go around and meet our players and who they will be portraying in New York 77. So we'll start here, and I want to know who you are, who your character is, if they are like a returning character or a new character, and sort of what their vibe is, how you think they're fitting into this world. I think you have a very interesting one to start with. So, Dallas.
Hey, Dallas. I'm going to be playing Anthony Tony Tucci. I used to be known as Tony the Hammer because I used to like to kill people with a hammer. But those days are kind of over since I'm playing the Spectre. So, basically a dead mob capo. I was called in 1953 because I needed some assistance in New York. So I left my homeland. Thought I found a good place for my family. But then someone else moved in. These creatures of the night.
Uh-oh.
So I'm looking for some revenge. I might need a favor.
Whoa. Very intense. Alright, well, we'll see if there's any offers you can't refuse as our adventure goes on. But next up, very happy to have him back, and his character back as well. Who is maybe one of the most played Generation Shadow characters of all. He's up there, I think. Well, it is Michael.
So is Montoya, but
Yeah, Agantre or the cat might be up there too.
Yes, that's true.
yes, I'm Mike, or Michael, excuse me. Going to be returning character of Maximilian Koenig, simply known as Max King. He's an Atlantean vampire who spent some time in Germany, then moves it on over to Los Angeles, and now he's making his way to New York after his last stint in the 50s of creating his own power to try to rival the Ordo Sanguis, just because he got tired of people telling him what he needed to be doing. So the only way to do that is to step on up his game. You know, from being the humble club owner to wielding mythical artifacts. Who knows? This happens.
Well, you made it happen. And this vampire empire is certainly going to play a part in our game. And then joining us, new to Generation Shadow, we're very happy to have her. It is Madeline.
Hello. Yes, I'm Madeline Hamaguchi. I'll be playing a new character, Joe Rose. Joe Rose is a veteran, both, and that veteran is taken, in a sense, almost literally here. Joe Rose has been in the city for about 20 years. The last 5 of those has been a recluse in hiding. At one point, Joe Rose was part of the Power faction. I think that Joe Rose had a lot of influence, but with the changing of factions and the many years between when they originally had power and sought power, there's been a challenge of the what's right and wrong with all of the status quos changing. And so recently, Joe Rose has suffered a personal calamity. Their partner was taken in by the darker side, so I think they're trying to find their partner. And they lived as a true recluse, would in a, tall water tower with a dumbbell, elevator to the top, and they're stealing their electricity and water. Joe Rose used to be a lawmaker, known for creating positive utilities accessibility for those in the city, and then when other factions took over, they used those utilities for basically bad instead of good, and probably trafficking cocaine. So Joe Rose is looking for some redemption and some vengeance and revenge.
Naturally, some off the grid.
Yeah.
All right, and then Nick.
Yep. And today I'm bringing back Wraith, but in a different way. He is now a tainted. He's now working for the King Yama of the South Asian gods, god of death and sort of the afterlife. And so, after his sort of times in LA, he took on the apprentice Wanda, and then after sort of leaving her after he felt that she was significantly trained, he went off the grid for a little bit also, and then little is known what happened to him. He knows that he eventually had to go back into the realm of Yama to sort of pay for what the deal that he made so many years ago, and now he's sort of working different jobs, tracking down rogue demons and hiding demonic contraband for Yama. So he's been sent to New York to help with this Santa problem.
Ooh. All right. Well, we'll see how that Santa problem turns out.
Yes.
I'll read a little quick intro to the city, and then we'll kind of get into the game. So, the winter holidays, bitterly cold and forcibly festive, put an end to a hard year for the greatest city in the world. 1977 saw New York facing power outages, the Son of Sam killings, mass poverty, the Bronx burning, and President Ford telling the city to drop dead. In the occult world, it was no different. The Lynchfield Organization for Supernatural Teleology, a group of scientists, skeptics, and researchers, continues to act as a beacon of light against the shadows. Two of those are Ordo Sanguis, the European vampire empire now lost in twilight, and their rivals, the rising force of the Kingsmen, emerging from LA. New York has other defenders. Las Brujas, a coven of Caribbean witches, combine traditional magic with modern firepower. In Brooklyn, the Bed-Stuy Slayers harness the powers of demons to protect their communities. Like everyone else in New York in mid-December, they linger in an uneasy peace. So, let's talk about how your characters fit into this world by answering the debts that are on your sheets. You could have these debts with some of the NPCs, and the list is floating around over there if you need it. Or it could be with some of the other players, if that makes sense. And if you are bringing a recurring character, some new debts might make sense for this game. So we'll start with Nick. So who do you owe? Who owes you?
Yes. The first one is you are protecting someone from a dark power. I haven't quite figured that one out quite yet. It could be one of these people. I don't know if the only one that I really know is Max. So I don't know if I would be.
I don't know if he needs protecting.
I don't think Max needs really protecting.
No, it could be Merle.
It could be Merle. Yeah, that's true. Once
Merle,
I found out that
yeah.
Merle was alive and doing relatively well for himself.
Yes. Young Merle does need protection.
Yes. He does seem to. Yeah, that seems like a good idea. So he owes me 2 debts.
Okay. Any others?
Yes. Someone is trying to save you and keep suffering for it.
Ooh, who do we think that is?
I was originally thinking Kevin Kappa. I think sort of knowing.
He kind of knows who you are.
Knowing who Kevin knows who I am through his father, and sort of my dealings with him, and sort of the times that I tried to save him and help him. So.
Oh, I see. So he's kind of trying to keep up his
Yeah.
family tradition
Yeah.
or
or maybe sort of
pay some family debts and
I think so. Yeah. And
keep you on the right path there. Okay.
Yeah. And then finally, I have a demon patron who holds the contract of my soul. I owe them 3 debts. So that is Yama.
Ooh. All right. Fun times there.
Yes. Oh, by the way, for Kevin, I owe him 2 debts.
Okay. How about Joe Rose?
Well, so the first one is someone relies on you for training or knowledge. They owe you 2 debts. And characters here, I'm thinking that one actually might be Carl Sagan.
Everyone's got to learn somewhere.
Yeah, I think the amount of like science involved in creating the laws that were once before, I think that it's been a few years, but you know the science and political communities to like develop these laws and
Yeah, when he
actual
was just
laws.
when he was rising up through the organization.
Yeah, and so he owes me 2 debts. You're working on something big for someone, and it's nearly ready. They owe you a debt. That's the next debt. And
It could be somebody here. Like, it's okay to be.
The last one I was thinking, someone keeps pulling your ass out of the fire. You owe them 2 debts. And actually, make it really funny if it was Tony, the Spectre. I think that'd be
Okay. I was
kind
gonna
of
ask you about
hilarious.
something earlier.
Oh really? Oh
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
Does that one work? 'Cause
Yeah.
we
That
can
if we could somehow.
maybe
I mean, specters can manifest themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's possible.
Yeah.
But if
If
you want her,
watch my
if you
family,
want,
there's a reason why I pull your ass out of the fire.
interesting.
Yeah.
oh, that's cool.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's
You've been around a while.
right. And I think it's
Sometimes-
the yeah.
Some enemies have to make friends.
Exactly. But the second point on here is because it's all 3, right? For
Yeah, you gotta
dates.
do all 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one, you're working on something big for someone and it's nearly ready. They owe you a debt. I actually
Yeah. Who do you think you would work for?
right. I kind of think it would be someone with some influence, potentially Michael's character, but
Perhaps
Maybe.
You said you used to do lawmaking and things
yeah,
like that.
yeah. I just feel like
Maybe
it's
you
a
have a
little
worker,
dirty,
you have like a loophole.
Yeah.
that you're working around to actually get our foot in the door, since the Kingsmen themselves is trying to establish themselves.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
now.
So you're helping him.
And
like,
maybe you have a loophole that you're
I
ready
think
to
so.
close, but I won't be able to do it without you.
Yeah, and I think there's a misconception in terms of like reclusive doesn't necessarily mean that they can't be doing things around, in the shadows. So
You're
I
helping
think
draw
that
out
was
like the
interesting.
real estate deals and get all
Right.
his
Right.
all his coffins safely planted.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So
right,
anyway,
cool.
so those are my debts.
Okay, awesome. All right, Max.
All right, so someone makes sure that I get fed regularly. I owe them 2 debts. I was hoping I could split that between the Kingsmen,
Oh,
being
sure,
Quincy and
Ginny Hill.
Ginny, since they've already established themselves here,
Yeah, they're definitely your like.
and that
your
way they're my
underling sewer.
go-tos.
Mhm.
Plus just because I'm their boss doesn't mean that they can't owe me and that I can't owe them.
Oh yeah.
So someone relies on me for their fix and they owe me a debt. Well, who other than Kevin Kappa? I mean, somebody's got to keep them rich in cucumbers.
Oh man. You're the one who sends the cucumbers out to Brooklyn for him.
Just crates and crates.
Oh,
I mean,
his
it's
favorite.
relatively cheap
I would say so.
Yeah.
for somebody
Especially by
who
bulk.
is yeah. Worse hell. They grow in dark environments, don't they? And then someone bears responsibility for me becoming a vampire. They owe me a debt. That is a long outstanding
That's kind of
thing that will probably never come to fruition. So, but yes, it's gonna be the demon that turned me into a vampire way back when. That has yet remained nameless because it was a demon half of another character from before. So I always just leave it blank because it's not gonna come into play.
And not. I mean, it will eventually at some point. I'll try and work it in.
Oh, no worries.
But in this particular one,
So
probably not. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, to put a name to it, it'll be, I guess, Belial ultimately.
Ah, okay. We have had Belial make some appearances before. All right, and then Tony Tucci.
So someone or someone's progenitor was involved in your death. So who would be your wild gun? Ginny or Quincy?
Quincy would make a move. I would
Without
assume
your-
Yeah, I
without
can
my
see.
approval. I mean, well, I wouldn't put it past Ginny either if she saw a chance to jump for something.
So,
But you're saying that it had to be how long have you been a ghost?
I haven't determined that yet.
Well, then it'll probably be Quincy because he was operating quite a lot more independently
But I would
than
say it's
me.
very recent.
Yeah.
And Ginny was working in Vegas until very recently.
Yeah. But
Mm.
wasn't she working for? She was dating that one mom.
Yeah,
She was
Bugsy
working.
Siegel.
She
dating
was
Bugsy,
dating
yeah.
Bugsy Siegel.
Yeah.
Yes, notorious mobster Bugsy Siegel, who has
Yeah.
been dead for
Ooh,
20 years now, or
maybe
30
one
years almost
reason.
at this point.
Yeah.
to knock.
Yeah, she ditched him when the opportunity arose.
Okay, we'll just do that.
But yeah, it makes sense that Clyde would be the one who, like, as you guys know, Quincy Clyde, one of our oldest returning characters, has jumped the gun and made some bad decisions in the past. So,
Okay.
and he thinks pretty little about those mortal lives. So.
All right. So then
I'm trying to teach him.
someone's watching out for my family. I guess I reluctantly go to you.
So Joro is
But
kind of
sometimes
keeping watch over
Yeah.
the Tucci's.
you're also human, so I can be okay with that.
That's true. Yeah.
Plus, you only have to like slightly manifest, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
So then I'm gonna haunt. I guess Quincy. Is he gonna be part of this? If not,
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, you can haunt Quincy all you want. I love that.
Well, if I think he's directly involved in my death, then that's who
okay.
I'm haunting.
All right.
So it's kind of like I get owe one get one.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So Quincy gets one on me, I get one on him, and then Joe, I owe you two. I owe you 2 debts.
Oh,
For watching
yes.
out for me.
All right, cool. Any others there?
Sweet baby kids. Yeah.
Ah, you gotta respect the family there. Okay. So, all those factions linger in an uneasy peace. Tonight, that peace is to be shattered in Crimson, Greenwich Village's hottest discotheque. The beats boom out from the booth, pounding disco tunes mixed with holiday jingle. A sprig of mistletoe hangs from the massive mirrored ball overlooking everything. And eggnog flows with the booze in the long bar. But amongst the dancing and decadence, Crimson has a darker, bloody side. Up in the Glaston office overlooking the dance floor, Max King, just flown in from LA, looks down the endless party. Watch out, party people. This groove has fangs. So, we will start with Max King. You've just arrived from LA. Did you like turn to a giant bat and fly over there, or was it like more?
No, cool commercial. But business class.
Yeah, I kind of expect makes sense.
Maybe first class. Who knows?
Took a ride.
So, right now you're in like the
Definitely.
owner's room. They got zebra print carpet, leopard print walls, lots of fun lava lamps everywhere, and you are meeting with Ginny Hill, who's wearing like rumpled, fashionable, not rumpled, ruffled kind of outfit. And she's like with you looking down over at the crowd. And she's saying like, I'm telling you, darling, this city's the future. Once we got the East Coast locked down, we can start moving across the sea. Europe, it's a vein just waiting to be sucked.
Well, kind of a reverse independence from what these United States did. Would have been nice to have been able to do it by 1976. Would have been a nice numeric value to that. But,
Oh right, they're bicentennial. Well, we can't always get what we want.
well, some things require more time and finesse.
That it
than
does.
others.
Now, Claggett down there, he's jumping at the gun to go to war with Ordo Sanguis, but I prefer to keep him sweet, just for the moment, at least until we've totally taken over New York. So, some of their representatives have flown over from London, and we got a nice little gift for him. Claggett there, he has a suitcase full of some primo cocaina which he will deliver there to the representatives from the order. Is that all right with you, boss?
That's fine as long as we use whatever routes we already have in place. Or is he delivering it? He's delivering it himself?
Yeah, tonight, actually. He's got it right there under the bar.
Yeah, well, Claggett doesn't really seem to be the person that when he severs ties with his employers that it goes very well, does it? Judging on what happened to his last employer.
Oh, you got me there.
Well, maybe we'll look into putting measures in place.
Alright, we'll keep an eye on it. So, while you guys are watching over, meanwhile, back down in the disco, perhaps Joe Rose, what do you think, what brought you? I mean, you don't strike me as someone who's out there tearing it up on the dance floor. So what brought you to Crimson, and what are you doing there?
I think the Crimson's a great place to meet someone because no one will remember that you were there.
Oh, yeah, good point.
You know, so I think that I'd probably be there to settle some debts. I think
okay.
actually, I think it's a great place for business. So I don't know who exactly I'd be meeting, but at this point, I think that it's also a great people watching space.
Absolutely. So you think you're kind of like sitting at the bar in one of the booths, kind of off to the side?
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm eagle-eyed over some things.
Yeah. All right. Well, you are approached by none other than the mayor.
Oh.
The newly elected Ed Koch himself, who walks over and says, I should ask, what gender is Joe Rose? Is it?
Ambiguous.
Okay.
I felt like Joe Rose didn't feel like a particular kind of gender, and I think that I think it's they because they had
Yeah, definitely. That's just the pronouns I should ask.
No, it's good. Yeah, I think that's where they are, and it's potentially a sort of in the minority, which is another reason why they could have been jumped out of office.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Mayor Koch, this kind of balding, maybe approaching middle age. He's got like a the business suit on.
Right.
Pops over, got that big 10-watt politician smile going over, and he's like, Joe Rose, I've heard about you. How about a handshake?
I think I finished my drink first, and then I shake his hand.
Well, it's good to finally meet you. I've heard stories.
It's stories about you are all over the news these days.
Oh, well, I do my best to keep it that way. Hey, gotta say it. How am I doing? It's my catchphrase,
How am I doing?
Look, the voters love it.
Help you let him know.
Well, Ed, I don't know if you really want the opinion of someone who's been out of the game for a few years. Just keep your hands clean and you'll be fine.
Well, I appreciate that. And speaking of keeping those hands clean, it's this city that I want to clean up.
To what part of cleaning up are you referring?
Well, take a look outside. I mean, maybe the village isn't so bad, but you go down to like Times Square or so on. This is the kind of place you want a family to come. It's all you got, like those massage parlors that are AKA bordellos. You got like X-rated so-and-so as far as the eye can see. And then everywhere you go in your city, it's like crumbling buildings, crime, urban decay. It's a mess. So, I figured to make, the number one way to make a city on the right track is to make that city a little cleaner, a little friendlier to outsiders, to business and to growth. So that's sort of what I'm trying to do here.
Sure. It's that's a hard game to play. It's
Oh, you're
who's
telling
kind of-
me.
Who's helping you out with that? Who's on your side to help you clean up the city?
Well, I've got my my sources here and there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, it was good meeting you.
It's good meeting you too.
And he putters away.
I think if I think I might keep my eye on him a little bit, maybe follow him a little later.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to that. I like that idea.
Okay.
So just remind me that you're tailing him.
Yeah.
Might be our first roll. Meanwhile, Wraith, what are you doing at Crimson?
Staying away from the dance floor.
Oh man, nobody's
Wow.
jamming
Nobody's
out
dancing.
tonight. Ugh.
How old do you think? How old am I? Remember this?
Oh yeah, you're like several centuries old.
Oh yeah. No, I would say, No, I think I'm actually at the bar.
Okay. Well, you are approached by someone who's both super old and also super young. It is Merle Stone. You knew him as Merle Von Worm. And you have been keeping an eye on him, as protecting him as Merle Stone, who is a dragon hatchling in a mortal human form who was raised by Azra, our living statue friend. So, yeah, man, you're jumping in a little bit. I mean, we got a little ways to go in this saga, but there's some kooky stuff has happened. So, don't worry if you're a little. You need to clarify anything. It's all good.
It's okay. I'm keeping up so far. There's some issue here, so I'm sure I'll get a hang of it.
Yeah.
So, young Merle, he's wearing like a collared shirt. He has the LOST kind of badge on there, and some fancy purple loafers, perhaps. And he pulls over and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Wraith, didn't realize you were here.
Yeah.
You like the Bee Gees?"
Not so much. I was
Yeah.
I was told to come here by someone important. So
Oh, all right. Well, it's really good seeing you.
it's good to see you. Keeping to yourself, or
Well, I'm working with Mr. Sagan over there at the LOST.
okay.
I figure that'd be a good use. That's what Azra would want me to do.
I'm sure he's been keeping you on the right path.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen him for a little bit. He's kind of off. He raised me up and sent me to school, so we check in.
That's good.
I mean, I try and call him regularly.
That's good.
I do worry sometimes, though.
Oh.
Well, I did a little research about what I was before you guys found me over there in LA in '52.
Right.
I don't know, is birthday the right word? Rebirthday?
Yes.
Yeah, so, and it worries me, man, I gotta tell you.
Don't let your past lives really dictate what you do in the future. Your life is your life now.
Well, thank you. You speak from experience?
I have lived for quite some time.
Ah.
And I did have a former life before the one that you know now, and I'm kind of starting a new one as of late, so...
Okay. So he sits down next to you. Meanwhile, Tucci, you are floating around Quincy Claggett, perhaps haunting him, just as he is engaging in a conversation with two characters who are familiar to you as a player, Roxy DeForest and Sir Dorian Gray.
True.
Who have just arrived from London, and they are, of course, bothering Claggett by making him, well, Dorian Gray especially, because he remembers him from, back in Victorian times. He's bothering him by, demanding, be like, no, 1 extra ice cube in my drink, if you please. No, from the bottom of the bowl. And Claggett's like, oh, egads.
No. Okay. So I manifest singly voice every time that Claggett turns around, and I say, no, the other way. I said it before that.
What?
And then he turns around, brings the drink, and he turns around, and Dorian says, no, it's the wrong one. So he turns back. So I'm just doing the voice.
Claggett is one upset vampire. However, while you're doing this, Dorian Gray, Roxy DeForest, she's probably too angry at the disco music. You know, she prefers,
The punk music.
a totally different sound. She's over in the punk scene. So she hates this place. But Dorian Gray does notice you. And he's like, oh. Well, that's a very... He kind of like spins around his stool and like looks straight at you. Oh, keeping our little bloodsucker on a string. I love it.
You know, if I could keep people on strings like a yo-yo all day long, I could have some fun with this. I think I could.
You're a man after my own heart, or so to speak.
So, who might you be, Mr. Well-Dressed?
Sir Dorian Gray, at your service. Recently arrived to your singularly stinky city from London.
Well, you know, I didn't make it that way, but we try to do the best we can with what we get.
So true. But your city may smell bad, but its entertainments are top-notch.
I have to agree. Have you been to the show, the Broadway yet? It's quite something.
Oh, well, I'll have to go, though oftentimes my entertainments run a little, shall we say, more unique.
Oh, do tell. I like things of originality.
So he kind of beckons you over and you start. I see you two are hitting it off. But then the door slams open. A cold wind blows in from the outside. And a deep, powerful ho, ho, ho echoes through the discotheque.
Oh, isn't the ghost of Christmas past?
It just might be. Because here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane, as the song says. But this Santa Claus looks way different and way scarier. His skin is a pure snow white to match that of his beard. He has a rotund, barrel-shaped belly, but thin, lanky arms, each ending in nasty claws. And he's wearing, his red is sort of a tattered, stained red velvet leisure suit with a big old snowflake-shaped medallion dangling over his pure white chest hair. So, Santa Claus, Disco Santa, looks around at everybody inside who has stopped. Some people are, cheering, asking him to come in, but most people who aren't, maybe weren't hitting the lewd so hard, are pretty scared and confused by this new arrival. And then Disco Santa says, "You are all on the naughty list." He waves his hands. The blizzard increases in ferocity, and a horde of snowmen come charging in. But these aren't the friendly, Frosty the Snowman types. They start wailing on things with their fists of ice and icicle claws and tearing this discotheque apart. So, what do you guys do?
Well, Mr. Gray, this might be the entertainment you've been waiting for.
I assure you, it is not. I'm old enough to remember meeting Charles Dickens. I found him a most tiresome bore, but even he didn't come with anything as dreadful as that.
Yeah, I can tell you, I've never seen anything like this before in my life.
Marl, it might be a good idea for you to find a safe place.
Well, if you say so, Mr. Wraith. And he ducks out.
That seems like a good time for me to figure out where Ed went before the commotion
Oh, absolutely.
causes
Okay.
causes me to lose him.
Give me a
Yeah.
let it out.
Okay.
And you can do to extend your senses.
Let's do
So you're gonna roll 2d6s and add your spirit.
2d6s.
Yeah, everything in this game just uses 2d6s. You haven't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's powered by the apocalypse. Not if you ever.
And the spirit. Okay, I have 0 spirit apparently.
All right, so it could be worse.
Could be worse.
That's a pass.
8.
Mhm.
Pass. Yeah.
All right, so you get to pick one from the list, and you get to mark a corruption.
Yes.
Probably extend your senses.
Okay,
Sounds
so you're
good.
kind of I think I don't know if you mentioned this on camera. Is your character blind?
Oh, I don't think that adds anything to it. I think
Okay.
I think I was playing with that, but at this point,
Decided
I
against
just-
it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
I don't think it adds anything to it. Yeah.
Okay, so you were able. You see, soon as Disco Santa shows up, Mayor Koch like hightails it for like the men's room
Okay.
to hide out there. Yeah.
Cool. I think I noticed that just in time, probably ducking under a flailing snowman ice fist, and I think also the joy of being a recluse is that, you know, being drunk or high on something is pretty great. So this is around normal for me. So I'm dodging the snowman and
Just another Christmas
Just another
Eve.
Christmas
yeah. Add one of the pieces of ice that fall off of him into my drink and grab a bottle of liquor that's from behind the bar and then pour myself into it
Nice.
and go chase
Nice.
after him to the men's room. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, so you're following Mayor Koch.
Yeah, I think he's up to something. You know?
Ah, Wraith, what are you doing?
Victory.
Yeah, I think so. It's basically the snowman and the Santa.
Yeah, Disco Santa's kind of lingering in the doorway.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's
really
fine.
funny.
I'm gonna pull out my sword and activate the devil inside.
Whoa.
Whoa. All right, let's see how that goes.
Not so good.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Let's see.
One.
Choose one, and I owe my patron a debt.
Yep.
So,
Oh.
All right, so which one are you choosing there?
let's do. Let's say I inflict +1 harm,
Ah, okay.
or +1 more to my sword.
All right. And what is your demonic transformation look like?
So, it's basically my visage is becomes smoky. My face becomes very sallow and skull-like. My hands become like bone, and my eyes sort of like just become like white.
Whoa. White as snow.
Sure.
All right.
Something else.
What is Tucci doing?
So yeah, right as that would happen, then I guess I would say, well, Mr. Gregg, I suggest you take you and your friend elsewhere before things get worse. I'm gonna remanifest just after I tell Quincy, you might want to go get the door. Then I'm just gonna manifest to be touched and to touch other things.
Ah, okay.
Just getting ready. That's it.
Right, okay. He says, Dorian Gray says, well, I might relocate, but I assure you, my friend can look after herself. As he's saying this, DeForest lets out the beast inside of her.
I wouldn't have known that, so that's
Yeah. So you see a full-on, like, werewolf transformation. And this werewolf in, like, black leather lunges into the snowman. And there is some carnage going on there on the dance floor.
I clap because I can only touch things now.
A silent clap. And what is Max King doing?
He'll, without turning, tell Ginny, he'll say, Ginny, make sure the VIPs get taken care of while I deal with whatever this is. And I'm going to try to put a face to a name to the snowman. Even though he has that beard, I'm sure he still has some qualities that he might or might not
okay.
recognize.
Oh.
Which I don't know what faction that's with.
I mean, I'll say he's with Wild.
Okay. That will be well, I have a 0 in wild, so that'll be 11.
Whoa, okay, well,
Still good.
yeah, he's a newcomer. Like, this clearly isn't the jolly old Saint Nick. And there's nothing, like, demonic about it. but you have never experienced this figure before. It's an all-new creation.
All right, so well, at 10 plus, I've dealt with them before.
Oh, okay.
So either I learned something useful about them, or they owe me a debt.
In that case, all right. I will say this darker version of Santa Claus, you have experienced before. It is a creature sort of spun from like nightmares, misheard versions of the Saint Nicholas myth. You know, twisted. If you ever heard the famous story, or not, maybe not so famous, the story of Knuckles, like an evil anti-Santa Claus.
Oh.
Yeah, that has well, give it a look up online if you want. It's written by the author of the Parker books, so it's a good one. Yeah. But yeah, the idea is that it's like the Santa Claus story, but skewed and twisted, has given birth to this creation as an evil. Instead of delivering gifts to good people, he punishes sinners.
Okay.
And maybe you have on some stormy night encountered Disco Santa before. So useful information, I would say, is that this thing that must be summoned.
Okay.
So a ritual must be done to give him like a target.
So he'll add that to as he tells Ginny, and see if you can look out for anybody who might be casting anything, and then he'll. You said we were above, right?
Yeah.
He'll jump from the ledging above down to the disco floor.
Whoa, very cool.
Which will look out of place, since even though it's disco, he's still wearing his nice formal wear of the
30s?
I'll probably say 50s or 60s at this point.
All right.
The 50s and 60s had some pretty nice stylized clothing, and that's what he
That's
likes
true.
to wear.
I mean, those clothes are still around.
He's full on vest, tie, not bow, just a regular straight tie, 3-piece suit, the whole works.
Not a fan of like not like a funky fringe jacket or anything. No. All right.
But I will add the hat.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Some fine textiles, things like that. Cool.
All right. So currently, the battle is roaring its way through on the dance floor. Roxy DeForest is doing a lot of damage to these snowmen, but right now it's probably like could go either way. So, what is Joe Rose doing?
I think like are the snow so these snowmen, are they attacking like everybody and everything? pretty
Yeah,
much?
they're kind of like just
Okay.
wrecking the place.
Nice. Do you think that Joe Rose encounters them, or does Joe get like to the bathroom to like try and find it?
I would say they would try and stop you, unless you can do some. Unless you want to, you can engage them, or you got to find a way to avoid them, because they will. They're coming after everybody, so they will go after you.
Right. I think then well, there's a veteran move called Gun to a Knife Fight. When you unleash on someone by seriously escalating the conflict, roll with mind instead of blood.
Whoa, that's
So-
pretty good. So how are you escalating this conflict?
I think I'm like pretty annoyed that like I can't get through to my goal. I think that's a pretty strong character trait of just stubbornness. So I think I'm probably trying to if I can't physically get through, I've got to outsmart these guys somehow. So so for like the layout of the space, like the front is at the opposite side from the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
So like I can't really get to anti-Santa. So I'm probably gonna need to set like outsmart these snowmen somehow by maybe I think maybe I find like the water spigot at the bar to try and freeze them together.
Oh, awesome. No, that would do it.
You know, I think Joe's kind of smart for being kind of high, but
All right.
yeah,
You grab that water spigot and
Yeah.
just let loose.
yeah,
So let's have you roll a unleash an attack.
cool. This probably makes the snowman pretty angry, probably. It's not great, but I have 2 mind
So
plus 2, so that's 4 plus 2, 6.
I'd like to assist in any way I can since I'm by the bar.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
And
All
I'm,
right.
I'm in physical only form right now.
Oh.
So perhaps I can just help you aim that just a
And-
little more
yeah.
appropriately.
So you feel some
I pull the
spectral
cord out,
hands
yeah.
Oh,
Give
okay.
it more
spectral,
distance.
giving you some assistance
Oh,
there.
So
cool.
That makes it a 7.
That makes it a 7. That's great.
If I roll well.
yes.
Oh yeah, I thought you already rolled.
No, I don't.
Oh
Your
no.
faction is mortality, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's 5. So I'm sorry, I tried.
Oh, so he tries, but is not quite
Okay.
able to
Not quite.
twist the nozzle there. So
Okay.
you try and spray, but it just there's too much chaos. Too many of these like
Yeah.
patrons are in the way, and water's going everywhere.
Okay.
Not able to take out these snow fiends. What is Wraith doing?
So being close to the bar, I would just basically just take the sword and just go for the one closest to me. I'm basically trying to make my way towards the Santa Claus.
All right, try and carve your way to Santa. Give me unleash an attack.
8.
Okay, pretty good.
It works. It works.
Yeah.
So
Um,
taking something or doing some damage.
I don't really know what there is that I can take, so I'm just going to inflict terrible harm, which would be currently with my
Yeah, that plus
plus
one
1.
makes it a lot.
And the sword is 3. Is 3 harm mostly. So 4 plus the inflict terrible harm. So
Oh yeah. All right. So
I think it's yeah. Inflict terrible harm is just 1, correct? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it'd be
Plus
5.
1.
yes. So you tear through these snowmen. But for the last one, I'm gonna say, actually, you can decide. You're gonna take some harm or end up in a bad spot.
I'll take some harm.
All right. You get 1 level of faint harm.
Okay.
Frostbite, as their snowy hands rush over you.
It's been a while
But I
I'll
think
get you.
between
Yes.
our
It's been a while
sword,
since I felt this cold.
between oh yes, the Himalayas,
Well, yeah, but I've been
and before that, of course.
I've been in the realm of Yama for a while.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's not exactly cold.
So between the sword-wielding demon man and the werewolf, the snowmen are pretty much on their way to defeat. But what's Wraith doing here?
Oh, no.
I mean, not Wraith. What is Tony Tucci doing?
Well, since that didn't go well, is there a like shotgun behind the bar
Oh yeah,
in like a typical situation?
yeah, Quince.
I
Yeah,
do- alright.
I definitely think
I do
Max King
Quincy's job
mandates
for
all
him.
his establishments have that.
So I stop the assist with the hose, and I'll grab the bar shotgun and try to shatter these icemen if they're partly wet or snowmen, whatever it may be.
Okay, give me unleash an attack.
Right.
Random floating shotgun in the side.
I know.
Mhm. Beware.
Well, this is one crazy night going
Beware.
on. We got
Awesome. That's 9.
all right, taking something or doing some even more harm to them.
Let's take away. What would be the most threatening part of them? Their mobility or their whatever weapons they're
Chilliness.
using? Yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah, their
Can I
integrity.
Can I literally de-arm them by shooting them off?
Yes,
All right.
I like that.
All right.
All right, that shotgun blazes away, rips some arms apart. I'm not sure how you could. I think I might put you in a bad spot because I'm not sure how they could harm you. But I can see. I think Disco Santa looks right at you. He can also see you,
Yeah.
and he starts like inhaling, going like ho ho ho, and his breaths are sucking in your ghostly form across the bar. Max King, what do you do?
Well, since I'm going into battle, I'm gonna roll for that, and that is very bad. But it doesn't matter because I can spend at least one. So for that, I think I'll go with cross the distance with any character outside of my reach before they have time to adjust and react. In which case, he'll cross the bar, passing the whatever's left of the snow of the de-armed snowman, right up to Disco Santa, while pulling out. I'm gonna go with Mina's katana.
Ooh.
And as he pulls it out and approaches, he'll pull it out in a threatening manner, but not attack, and he'll say to Disco Santa, "I take it you didn't know this was my place," and that's where he'll end.
Whoa. Okay. Santa, he pauses in inhaling our ghostly friend. He stares right at you, and he's like, "Oh, I've heard all about you, Max King, and let me tell you, you're at the top of the naughty list."
Well, gotta be known for something.
He takes like a final look over, and he's like, "Well, looks like I've put a little lump of coal in this stocking. Maybe I'll see you later tonight, but there's so many other houses to visit. Ho, ho, ho." And with that, as an icy wind comes down, Disco Santa just turns into a spiraling bit of mist and snow and is carried away into the night. Behind him, all the snowmen collapse. The Crimson is going to take quite a lot of bit of water damage, but it's more or less intact.
We have insurance.
However, Claggett pokes his head out from behind the bar, and he's like, "This is going to sound quite ironic, but the snowmen stole the snow." Boss.
Really?
Well, I was, cowering. I wasn't able to defend it.
You know,
Oh, so that wasn't you with the shotgun? The one that I paid
No.
to have behind the bar?
No, I am no, the shotgun was floating by itself. Or actually, maybe it was a ghost, the one that's been haunting me.
No, I throw it at Quincy.
Ah!
Just so he has to catch it.
He barely does.
Quincy,
So, well-
I knew you were incompetent, but I didn't know you were that incompetent.
I was making a tactical retreat under the bar. I don't want to face Disco Santa. And at this moment, Mayor
Maybe
Koch
you should
says,
be more afraid of facing me. I'm still in my decision.
"Believe me, I am." At this moment, Mayor Koch emerges from the men's room. And he's like, "Please, please. Look, nobody wants to face Disco Santa. I'll be honest with you. Look, I celebrate Hanukkah. I'm not of the Santa persuasion. But Disco Santa has been bothering this city for the past couple of days. It's clearly not just some maniac thinking that his neighbor's dog is telling him to kill people like the son of Sam was. This is a full-on demonic Yuletide infestation. So, you three, you seem to have handled this the best, apart from our werewolf friend, but she seems to be needing to calm down a bit. So, I'm asking you, on behalf of New York, can you please put a stop to Disco Santa?"
Drop the form and just be like, "You know, Mayor, it's kind of ironic that you asked this, since I was actually told to do the exact same thing by my patron.
Whoa.
So, our
Look,
plans
I don't even
align."
want to know who that is, but yes, thank you.
Probably take another drink. I'm like, "This is what you wanted help for, and now my shoes are wet." It's gonna take forever to dry it out. But it's if you just wanted help with this, instead of next time, ask. An old recluse has nothing better to do but find some favors from a politician in power.
Well, I owe you big. You helped me with this one. Mr. King, same to you.
I will help you out with your problem, but take care of one thing first. Turns to the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed tonight's entertainment. Round of drinks on the house.
Woohoo!
See my man Claggett behind the bar, and long live disco.
Merry Christmas! Thankfully, Crimson is back to its usual pulse-pounding self. Tucci, I don't know, I mean...
I manifest voice only again.
Oh,
Tell Claggett, take 100 shots. Ready, please? And
I'm working on it.
And then...
Whose voice did you use for that one?
Doesn't matter. He's not watching. And then I'll go to the mayor and say, you've got another one on the case, Mr. Mayor. And by the way, we'll consider this one a big favor.
Whoa. He just gives
No,
you
I'm
like,
just kidding,
yeah, he just gives you a nervous smile and nods. And he's like, all right, well, I've had the police tracking Disco Santa's reports, and they all seem to emanate from the warehouses near Red Hook over in Brooklyn. So, he just like scrawls an address down a napkin here. So if you can swing over there, that may be, I mean, look, it ain't the North Pole, but I think it's where Disco Santa's hanging his Santa hat. So you can go find out. Maybe you can meet him there, or see where he's going to strike next. But be careful. It's a rough neighborhood. That's the Bed-Stuy Slayers call that place home. All right, so we'll cut ahead to Red Hook. But are there any kind of preparations you guys want to make before you head over to this this neighborhood of like derelict warehouses and old docks where
like old
Disco
times,
Santa
Max.
has been appearing?
Long time.
Oh yeah, of
see
course you
your-
guys.
Looking a little different.
It actually looks like I'm a little bit younger than the last you saw me.
Oh, that's weird.
I've come under the employ of Yama. In case you hadn't known, that was where I originally got my powers as a wizard. Sadly, he took those away, but has given me some other ones.
That's why you feel different.
Yes. Well, you knew the dark power that I had manifested the last time in LA, so that was sort of where I had got it from, and now I'm paying for the power that I was given. So
Seem a little less weighted down, though.
in a way, I know who I was, and I guess the weight of my past has sort of left me a little bit, and it's easier to do the things that I have now.
Okay. Joe Rose, are you? And then Chicken with Tucci.
I think Joe Rose is probably really confused by this conversation, and then and like probably just because he's probably never really seen what's going on here.
I
So
know some strange out of towners.
I know, but I think knowing that there's going to be some teamwork happening. There's the Joe has a sort of a workshop workspace thing in their water tower.
Oh, cool.
And so I think that haven't decided yet what they might be cooking up, but I think that this may call for some extra either communication tools or weaponry maybe, or
Okay, so we can see you swing by, pick up that firepower. Tucci?
That's what I was going to do. I go to a connection that I would have for unserialed guns, and then I would make sure that I bring one to you. And I'd manifest completely this time, everything. And I'd be like, I don't know what you plan to do with a hose next time, but I think you might need one of these. I'd bring her a reliable revolver. Like, I like your ingenuity, and I
Interesting.
appreciate what you do for me and my family.
Oh,
But perhaps a little more firepower might be more appropriate.
interesting. That's actually in my gear already.
I know.
Crazy enough, is a revolver. That's awesome. That's great.
I love that class. It's good.
Ooh, cool. All right, so you have that revolver.
Yeah.
Okay, Max.
Gonna take that address and spread it to the Kingsmen and use my move Eyes Everywhere to attempt to just verify that we're going where we're supposed to be going.
Okay. Whoa. I can see like 2 12s from here. That's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
2 6s, yeah.
that's 2 6s, so it's a
Oh.
12 no matter what. I don't know which faction I'm rolling with there. So.
I'll say it's wild because that's Slayer territory.
Okay. Then that will be exactly as it is, just a straight 12.
Okay, so what's the highest possibility there?
On that it says, on a 10 plus, word comes quick. If you move right now, your prey is within your grasp. So the prey being the Disco Santa. If we move right now, he is vulnerable and exposed.
Okay. All right, so
to the Lincoln Continental.
oh yeah, I was gonna ask how you're getting there, but I think you already got it.
Nice.
All right, everyone
It's a
piles
nice-
into the car.
He always prefers cars with 4 seats, at least.
Comes
He's
in handy.
had friends on the bigger.
Yeah, he's had comes in handy for this kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
So you speed out, head over to Brooklyn, and enter Red Hook. This dismal section of warehouses, waterfront dives, and slums is yet another example of the poverty crushing New York. But even in the face of such hardship, culture thrives. The new sounds of hip-hop thunder through the night in the distance, and vibrant graffiti stands out boldly on the crumbling cement. A particular stretch of graffiti catches your eyes. Sprayed across the front of a broken warehouse, the spiky, elaborate web of crisscrossing angular lines might simply be the artistic representation of a tagger's name, or it might be something else, an occult sigil crafting a barrier from some further evil. This is a mark of the Bed-Stuy Slayers, meaning that the gang is nearby, and whatever it's meant to guard against might be nearby too. And in fact, as you pull over, I will say there are 2 individuals kind of leading a small collection of the Slayers who all have like cool leather vests with the famous Slayer symbol of like a demon skull and a pitchfork on the back. And lots of headbands. Just so many headbands. Yeah, just you know, we're wearing their colors there. Just hanging out. And they are led by Diego Franklin, who was like a cool pirate hat on, celebrating his, and a fake eye patch, celebrating his idol, Captain Diego. And next to him, a hulking, half-human, half-lizard man is Kevin Kappa. So, they are like kind of moving in front of your vehicle.
Who's this?
Stop the car.
I'll step out and just be like, Kevin, it's been some time.
Oh, you know Kevin as well.
We both know his father,
Yeah,
Johnny.
makes sense.
Kevin's like, I wish I knew more of him.
We have to come by the club more often. We'll tell you all about our escapades.
Oh, thanks. I always wanted him to come over. We could have played ball.
Well, he tended to get himself into trouble, so
Yeah, well, he certainly did.
yes.
Anyway, you guys have any cucumbers?
Sadly, I don't.
Oh,
You already went through the last shipment?
I love them, man.
I'm sure I have a crate or 2 in the trunk. How about it?
Diego Franklin's like, Kevin, enough. And he like, you know, folds his hands.
There's some weapons for you guys as well.
Could I put a face to a name for Diego?
Yeah.
Hello, 12.
Okay, so you have had dealings with this guy before. So you've been in New York for a little bit. But I mean, also you are, like these guys, you are, you know, tainted. So how do you think you came into contact with the Slayers?
I think to sort of help sort of get me into the knowledge of sort of where some where the possibilities of like rogue demons might be. You talk to the people who have experience.
Oh,
So,
right. Okay.
and I'm sure, and I think Diego has had some jobs for me as well to sort of help that out.
Okay.
and obviously knowing Kevin and sort of
Yeah, I can kind of introduce you guys, probably.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
and
Okay, so he's like, "Oh, Wraith. Look, I mean, I know you know your stuff, but your friends, well, Max is a legend here, which
right.
it makes me a little bit worried. This is a dangerous place. We got these sigils up here for a reason. I don't know if I can just let you guys go on by.
Well, we're kind of on the hunt for one Disco Santa. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems to be around here.
Yeah, we heard, reindeer flying around there in the snowy sky. But thankfully, he hasn't hit any houses over here. That's why we got the graffiti up. The marks keep this place safe.
Well, it seems his hideout might be around here, so I don't know.
It could be. However, a bunch of outsiders smashing through, messing things up, could unleash Santa on Brooklyn. We don't want that.
Right. Well, it seems he's already hit one of Max's establishments, and we have we've been hired by the mayor to
Oh,
Try
the
and-
mayor.
take care of our good Santa. Well, not so good Santa.
He's gonna require a persuade.
Sure.
But when he says the mayor, Kevin Kappa's eyes light up, actually.
Persuade is hard, isn't it? Oh, okay. 7.
Nice.
Okay, he's like, all right, I will. I'll make you a deal. We'll go check out the warehouse you got over here and see if we can find Santa's little hangout. But we're going with you.
Of course.
All right.
Always use more muscle.
Okay. And Kappa is a little like, you can tell he's a little nervous, but he doesn't know. He knows something.
Kevin, you have something on your mind?
Well, look, I don't get in any trouble, but, the mayor, I mean, I've seen this big fancy limousine cruising around here. And, I mean, I know, Mayor Koch from the papers and everything. Mr. How Am I Doing?
Right.
So it might have been him, but he was coming and going from here. Pretty odd. I don't know why his honor would be around this neighborhood.
Interesting. Well, people like... And Max, have you told us that Santa was summoned, or...
He'll share that now.
Okay.
As I told Jenny before we left, I've met this Santa before.
Oh.
He doesn't just appear at random. He needs to be brought through.
As most devils seem to
If
do.
if the mayor was at my place and the mayor's been in and out of here, and you guys have been seeing it in and out of here, well, goes to reason. It's one and the same.
Franklin's like, so what you're saying is somebody wrote him a letter. All right, let's go see him. So
Interesting. Well, I guess...
he leads you out through this like warren of decaying warehouses, and right away you can see down at the far end there, one of them is very much Christmassy. There's big strings of lights dangling over from the ceiling, illuminating everything inside. There's like fake plastic reindeer and fake, fake they're real decorations of glowing Santa and snowmen and Welcome to the North Pole signs. It's a whole cheaply Christmas decorated scummy warehouse waiting for you right at the end.
Yep, this is the place.
As you approach, you are hit with the strong scent of gingerbread. And you hear some heavy footsteps. Smashing through the door, a gingerbread giant
Yes.
with some, oversized candy buttons, big old glaring icy face, comes, or icing face, comes smashing its way through.
So much for the element of surprise.
Diego starts going into his demonic form. One of his hands turning into a big crab claw, reminiscent of Captain Diego. But the giant gingerbread man is too fast, grabs him up and prepares to attack him. What are you guys doing?
I'm also manifesting
The youth,
okay.
of our,
much better.
Tucci.
the youth of our city today is too rambunctious. Let's see what happens with the kid.
All right, Tucci's doing nothing. Max, what are you doing?
I will be. I assume we're going into battle.
Yeah, might not be a long battle, but definitely the one gingerbread man.
That would be an 11 for me, so I get to hold 3.
Whoa. Okay.
So yeah.
So I will go ahead and spend 1. You say the gingerbread man is grabbing him?
Yeah.
So I will say, name a character within my reach, which would be
Diego Franklin.
Diego Franklin. And while we fight, I intercept any attack directed at them so they suffer no harm.
Whoa. So what does this look like? Are you like jumping into the snowman's arms and kind of shoving him to safety, or?
Yes, we'll do that with his, again, today feels like a Mina's katana day, so he'll pull that out and just kind of push with
Cookie
it.
cutter.
Not just, exactly, the cookie cutter.
All right. You come swinging up with the sword and shove Franklin safely to the ground.
Nice.
What is Joe Rose doing?
You know, I think I've got this great revolver here. I think I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna go for it and start.
Right, the gumdrop.
I think so. I think I'm gonna aim for the gumdrop.
Not the buttons.
Not the gumdrop. Buttons. Exactly. Gonna make this gingerbread man sweat some icing. And I think. I mean the other. Yeah. No. I think I just want to probably just attack. Yeah. Unleash an attack.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Ooh, nice.
10, and then
And you
Usually
roll
do
your...
you want to do the
yeah, the probably
gun to a knife fight?
gun to a knife fight, I think. So adding 2 with mine. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so what's the
that's
total there?
12.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. So, are you taking something from him or inflicting deadly harm or terrible harm?
So you get to pick...
I think let's inflict terrible harm. Let's see
Okay.
what happens. See if I can crumble this. Good.
You just you fire a super well placed shot. Half his face blows apart. cookie dough goo splatters everywhere. It is delicious.
I don't even like Christmas. Bang.
And what is gingerbread man? Looks like he's one step from being a ginger dead man. Yeah. What is Rafe doing to finish him off?
So I have manifested, and I rolled I believe it was an 11, so I get to choose 2. So I'm gaining +1 armor and demonic movement. So basically, my smoke form just becomes even more smoky, and I just sort of go out of existence for a second and go above him and just unleash an attack.
Whoa! All right.
9.
Okay. This will probably actually be enough to finish him off there.
Okay. So I'll just do the terrible harm. Yeah.
Okay, I think you just bisect him, just right down the middle, and then he goes takes one step, and then just collapses and splatters gingerbread all over the nasty cobblestones there. So,
Guess he didn't
Ginger-
have enough of a man.
oh dang! The gingerbread man is defeated. Now you can see your way into this this kind of North Pole cave.
So now I will be just heard. And, it's kind of interesting the fact that the Santa Claus has so many goons when he's summoned himself, as you said earlier.
Oh.
So it seems.
Like, where are these goons coming from?
Quite.
If I remember correctly, Santa has a lot of little helpers.
Very true.
Hey!
We might You might find an ambush inside.
Okay.
Elves.
You know,
That's my guess.
there's we can always try and lay the best of plans here.
That's what I was trying
Yeah.
When we're working out a plan,
Nice.
I can roll with mind to help our plan succeed. I think is how I'm reading it.
That's
Yeah.
good. All right.
Yeah.
So you roll for that one.
Yeah. Whatever the plan might be, sort of ambiguous.
Yeah, it kind of like comes into play, you know. As
Right.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, dope. I have 13.
Whoa.
So.
All right, you get to hold. I think 3
a
points.
10 plus hold 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So you got a good plan here.
Yeah.
You guys enter the warehouse.
So I know
Oh.
these guys, but I don't know this voice.
Okay.
I'm not the only one that heard. You guys are talking to it,
Of
so.
course. Could I actually try and extend my senses to see if I can see where he is? And
Yeah, you've heard it before, and you guys like saw the floating shotgun, but
so I guess
Yeah, I
that,
don't
would that
know
be a
he's-
let it out or
yes.
hello? It's not with spirits, so 11.
All right, you were able to pierce the veil and see the outline of this. Oh,
Mind if I
yeah.
attempt it as well?
All right.
Nope. Blissfully ignorant.
All right. Max
Let
keeps
it out
a
his
little
spirit,
confused.
so that's
He's
the
a
one
little
thing I'm
confused
lacking.
there, but Ray sees what this.
There you are, my friend. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Well, perhaps, yes. The name is Anthony Tucci.
Mr. Tucci.
I have found that our mutual friend Joe over here seems to know what they're doing all the time, I should say. So I tend to stick around when I can.
Very well. Well, it's
And I
good to know.
tend to notice that they have found the two of you who seem to be quite gifted, if I could put it that way.
Yes.
I have never seen the shit that you two have pulled off before.
Well, very few have outside of our line of work.
You mind if I put a name to a face?
Oh yeah, maybe you might have heard
I would
about
do the
it.
same to all of you then.
Sure, go for it.
So,
I know.
No.
Well, perhaps not.
All these East Coast gangsters, who knows?
I know that is true.
but Mr. King, I've heard of you.
I think that's.
That's fair, right?
I might not even make you roll for that. I think Max King's a
I
pretty
am
famous
also
figure.
blissfully ignorant of our good friend, Mr. Tucci.
As most people would not know me, yes.
Well,
Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. As much
And
as
you
you
too,
can to a
Mr. Ray.
disembodied voice.
Ah,
surprised you. Well,
Rate's got his fans.
yes, that's true. I wonder how young Wanda is doing.
Oh man, she's probably still in Ireland at this point. Yeah.
Right,
With the Assembly of Druids.
right.
So Franklin says, "All right, we're gonna spend all this time out here gabbing like fucking evil Saint Nick is in there. Let's go get him."
I'm sorry, but sometimes older people like to have a conversation every now and again.
Yeah,
I get it.
boring. All right, I'm going in.
You
So-
two are quite old, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Alright, so
he
that-
heads.
I was born in the 1800s, I believe.
And he was turned at the time of the flood.
I know of Atlantis. So
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Max King so Diego heads right inside, and there's tons more Christmas decorations. There is like an old worn out throne there. Maybe somebody needs to investigate a
Investigate?
place
Sure.
of power. Yeah.
I can do that. So would this be with
Wilds.
Okay. Hello. 9.
Something. There we go.
All right.
You can also offer to do
So you
something
sense this
more.
place was kind of like
Oh.
an altar
Just
through
be
which
investigating place of power with Wild.
Disco Santa was summoned.
Oh, cool.
You also notice, I don't know if Place of Power would have been needed for this, but
Okay.
there is on the throne a ticket to Fifth Avenue's Winter Wonderland.
Told you.
Well, this is a famous department store that I'm not naming for copyright reasons. Puts on a humongous.
They're called bags, right? Bags, Fifth Avenue.
Well, the one where this takes place, I'll say starts with an M.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, they famously have a huge Winter Wonderland experience. You know, everyone go get their picture taken with Santa. That's what those the David Sedaris elf stuff.
Do they also
Diaries.
sponsor like a Turkey Day parade or?
Yeah, it just might.
Okay.
But so there is a ticket to the Winter Wonderland that will take place in Fifth Avenue in Manhattan tonight.
That seems to be of importance. What do you make of it?
I have to say, I like a good parade. It's also a good cover. Trust me.
Sense. It's true.
Trust me.
There's going to be a lot of people there. That might be that might be cause for commotion. I think would it? Max just made the suggestion that I could also roll to see if I can investigate a place of power as well. Wild.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
Oh, and Madeline, be sure to like check the boxes after you roll the faction.
Sure. Yeah.
That way you can. I mean, you might not level up in just this one shot, but
Sure.
if you ever use the character, you know, it can.
That's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If you come back and use this character.
That's true. Okay.
There we go.
Wild is 1, so 11.
Whoa. Okay. You notice something even more, perhaps alarming. So set like at the foot of one of these many little Christmas trees, there is a photo showing the like membership of the Lynchfield Organization for Supernatural Teleology, and circled in peppermint crumbs is Merle Stone.
Oh.
Huh. It seems I must protect Merle once again.
That's not good.
Someone have a crush on this young man here.
Yeah.
Well,
Keeps his picture.
in the past, Merle's had made some unsavory friends, so
Tends to find himself in very volatile situations.
quite. He's trying to do better, but
Nuketown
Sometimes-
is not better.
he's doing better things, I will say. But sometimes one can't escape the past.
Where can we find Merle right now? Where do you
Quite possibly at this event.
Yeah, I think it's Winter Wonderland. All right, so Franklin says, "All right, well, look, usually I even go to Fifth Avenue. I stand out, so I'm not sure if I want to join you. What do you guys think?
Well,
You want the Slayers with you?
it could be of use.
All right, we're with you.
As I said before, there should be some armaments in the trunk. Under the cucumbers.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys,
You'll
we're
have
gonna
to
have
get your own transportation.
That's all right. I'll take the subway. And if we have to fight our way back home, well, it'll be a whole other experience.
Sure.
Does one of us need to stay here to track down Ed, or do you think he might be at this parade as well?
I get the feeling if this is sort of a large event, the mayor is sure to
Probably
be there.
right?
If anything, he might be the MC.
Yeah, it's not a parade. It's like
It's a
Santa's workshop kind of
Okay.
photo
yes.
experience. Yeah.
Ah.
So it's indoors.
Well, we weren't wrong. He was here.
If there's a
He's not
chance
here now.
for a
Yes.
public photo, is what I meant.
Quite.
Be there.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So we'll now go back to Manhattan. There's not really that much time for any preparations, but I think you guys will will be heading to Winter Wonderland. So you guys reach this big department store. It takes up the entire 4th floor. And as you're going up, you can definitely feel like the unease and see people like kind of leaving that that area and heading down. And in fact, as you take the escalator up to the 4th floor, you see Mayor Koch and like a few police officers, maybe some LOST personnel, kind of like gathered around the entrance to the big old, North Pole Santa's workshop maze that leads over to the center, ushering people out. And Mayor Koch is looking very, very worried. And he's like, sorry folks, we'll have the whole thing up and running real soon. Just, rat problem on Christmas. What can I say? They don't take the holidays off. That's right, get moving before the plague rats get you.
Can't decide whether this is for the benefit of the people or just covering up.
Where is he? He's motioning them all to go where?
To like leave the Santa's workshop area.
Well, we don't want the mice to eat all of our Christmas cookies. Maybe we should run towards the find another way into this wonderland.
Are they blocking the entrance?
They're kind of off to the side, but if you made your way in non-stealthily, they would definitely notice you.
So, is there some...
Seatbelts on? No? Okay.
You're indoors. You're out of the car. This is on the 4th floor of the hall.
Okay. Just making sure.
Unless your car's vampire powers. Or
It's
something.
not that special of a car.
We have had a werewolf car in this show before, so...
That's
I believe
awesome.
It is not that furry car.
Since there's a lot of festive things going on, a lot of decorations and all that, is there something I can knock over, make fall down, tear
sure.
down to get the attention away from the doorway long enough for people to get
absolutely.
by?
There's like a huge tower of Christmas presents.
Then
in the center,
that is
one of
going
the
to tumble.
decorations.
All right, so I'm gonna manifest just for touch, and make some things tumble to cause some noise and some things that would catch their sight.
All right, awesome.
So I'm gonna use won't be ignored on that, and I can distract an NPC.
Okay, so you're just like pushing this pyramid over.
Yeah, that's the idea.
All right, Christmas presents go smashing down, tumbling. The police and the mayor are like freaking out a bit and spinning over, and their attention is fully away from the entrance to Winter Wonderland.
Well, Kismet, shall we?
Yes.
Okay, you guys head right through. Winter Wonderland has been a staple of Fifth Avenue Christmas since the 1920s. Now, it's a sprawling miniature theme park taking up the entire floor of the biggest department store in the city. Fake snow, candy canes and gingerbread structures, and plenty of elf workers keep everything moving smoothly, all surrounding the chair of Santa Claus himself. Right now, the kids who would be demanding toys on Christmas morning are gone, as are all the parents and the workers. Disco Santa sits on the throne, under a towering Christmas tree. His ice-white skin gleams under the lights, and his clawed hands finger the numerous necklaces dangling from his thick neck. Across from him, tied up in shining red and green Christmas wrapping paper like a giant present, is Merle Stone. Enchanted icicles dangle from his chin and throat, starting to melt from some inner heat. His eyes glow red. Santa rises from his gilded throne. Well, if it isn't some truly naughty girls and boys. I'm afraid I've got the perfect present for New York. He gives Merle a kick. And when the dragon's done, even the coals will be ash.
So he's tied up, like where?
He's under the Christmas tree.
Oh.
Under the Christmas tree.
Yeah, on
Okay.
the giant Christmas tree.
Okay. And there was like icicles around.
Around Merle, yeah.
Okay.
Some sort of like spell has been cast on him that's like incubating him. And you can tell, Max, you know this too, because you've seen when Merle went dragon before. Mm-hmm. So you realize like this is what's happening. Like the scales are coming into the skin, the eyes are glowing, there's like smoke coiling up from in him.
Well, and is Santa talking to the group?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he the only one there?
As far as you know.
Okay.
Well, Santa, it seems that we're not the only ones who are being naughty.
Ooh.
I'm going to once again bring up the devil inside. So
Why not?
yeah.
All right. I'll let you do that, and then we should probably do our equivalent of rolling initiative. Just to make sure we have an order there.
Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad.
Okay, so which one are you picking for that? And everybody else can roll keep your cool.
Okay.
You could roll one too, right?
Then do you want me to roll my vigilante move first? Or keep my cool move
I mean,
first?
either way, because they'll kind of come into play whenever your turn is.
I'm just gonna.
This is just how we sort of the order how everybody goes in for this.
Oh.
Okay, anybody get a 12 or higher?
12.
All right, I think Wraith is going first.
Okay.
Anybody get 11 or 10?
I'm sorry, I was counting.
Mhm.
I also have an 11.
Okay, then Max,
What did you say?
an 8 or 9.
9.
9, okay. 9 for Tucci. And how did Joan Rose do?
It's a 6. And then is there anything added to it? Sorry.
Your spirit.
Spirit.
It is your spirit.
No.
Unless you have a move that provides it something else.
6. Unless best laid plans, but I think those involve other people.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, those are like you're helping your
Right,
teammates
right,
there. Okay, and then last,
Mm.
Disco
But it's not
Santa.
that bad because I have 7, so it's still 2.
All right,
So
Wraith.
4 gives me 2.
Disco Santa is like cooking up Merle right there under the tree. What are you doing?
So it just looks like a bunch of icicles around him, and as well as the wrapping.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I manifest, I gain +1 armor, but I'm going to head. Actually, no. I'm going to go with demonic movement.
Ooh, okay.
And I'm just going to basically do the whole like disappearing in mist and reappearing right next to Merle, and I'm gonna try and just get rid of the icicles around him.
Okay. I think this will be a let it out.
Sure. Okay. 7.
Okay, which one are you picking? I think this would be. You take definite hold of something.
Yeah, I would say take definite hold of something vulnerable. So basically,
Do you need one more to do anything?
no,
I don't think it would.
no,
Because
it
it's
wouldn't help much. No.
Okay.
kind of the point the numbers are set up. It's like 9 to 10.
Okay.
Or sorry, 10 and up is a good
Yeah.
super success.
7 and 9 is
7 to 9. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's on the cusp. You can do that.
Yeah. I get rid of the icicles and sort of grab him and just be like, Merle, you're better than this. You can fight this. You can be better than this.
Okay, so your icicles are like starting to melt. Your magic is kind of is battling the evil Christmas magic of Disco Santa. And Merle's eyes like flutter open. You can see like the red is still there. And he's like, Mr. Wraith, I can feel it happening to me.
It's okay.
Max, it is your turn.
Max is gonna ask, Mr. Tucci, can you wield weapons?
I have the ability to wield anything that my mind
So-
says.
He'll put down that katana he was using earlier,
Okay.
and again, then he'll cross the distance to Santa Claus while pulling out the Jotun axe from
Ooh.
before. Hey, if it works on a dragon, why not? And then he'll just attack with that. Which would just be unleash an attack, which would be a 10.
Ooh, nice. All right.
Which
You taking something from Santa or doing some terrible harm?
we're just gonna inflict terrible harm.
Okay, so
I think the Jotun was. I'm assuming it's the same as the swords, the 3 harm.
yeah, with like extra ice damage.
Yeah.
So, and then just the +1 for the.
Okay, so what's the total there?
I think it's going to be 4 plus whatever the cold damage is.
Okay, it's an extra 1. So you
Okay,
got 5. Yeah, that's a pretty huge hit. All right, you swing down, and just cleave into Santa. He goes spinning around to the bit, or spinning around and crashes back towards his throne. He looks up and glares at you, and you can see this like icy wound on his chest, but it's already starting to like fade. And he gives you a hateful look, and we'll see what happens there next. Tucci, what are you doing?
And I see the wound just like closing. Literally.
Yeah, it's sort of like
Crap.
it's like he's kind of a creature of cold, so cold doesn't. So the axe still hurt, but like cold doesn't do as much as something else could.
Oh, okay. And Merle is still entrapped in the ice, or he's been somewhat freed.
Wraith is working on like kind of breaking the enchantment, but he's not out of the woods yet. Merle's still like stuck in mid-transformation, kind of.
Okay. Does my character have a sense that it's happening to him because of where he is under the tree, or just because of what's on him?
You'd probably have to roll a extend your senses to figure this out.
Okay. I'd like to try that
Or
first
maybe
before I do my next move.
maybe place of power. I can see a case for that too. Let's do extend your senses.
Okay. So that's just a spirit, right?
Yes.
Nope, I have no clue. Okay, that was a snake eyes.
Yeah, you're not quite sure what's going on there.
Alright, so because I don't know exactly what's going on, then I will go with what I know best, and that's violence. So, not quite a hammer, but I think it'll do. So I will do the. Wait, was I manifested last as touch? Or speaking? I can't remember real quick.
Well,
I think it was
you just pushed over the thing.
No, that
Oh,
pushing,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
still manifested as touch, thank you.
Yes.
Sorry, a lot of switching today. So then I will keep that, still stay in that motion, grab the blade, and I guess do my best to plant it between the eyes of Santa, because that's my favorite place to hit.
Oh man, of course, got to go for the brain.
Yeah.
All right, give me a unleash an attack.
Snake eyes again.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Okay,
It literally is. That's
Okay, I
amazing.
can help you.
so here's what happens.
No one can.
You were worried about elves.
The helpers.
Yeah, as you are ghostly flying down to attack, a bunch of spectral elves come out of nowhere.
I knew it.
These little glowing green and chittering creatures fall upon you in a horde, and they are like spiritual, ghostly, ethereal beings too.
Ooh.
And they bring you crashing down to the earth. You're going to take one harm as their little claws shred your essence. If only they wanted. These guys didn't want to be dentists. They want to be murderers. And maybe now they are, and well, not quite. Joan Rose, what are you doing?
Well, all this commotion is happening over here, but we did mention before that Ed seems to be in the same place as Santa. As you know, does Santa come from Ed himself, or what is his involvement here? And I don't mean to be so obsessed about Ed, but there's something suspicious about this guy.
Absolutely.
And so he was a little too friendly before to someone who has not been in the politics game for a while. So I think, well, you know, you guys seem to have it somewhat dealt with ish. I think, is Ed still out there? Is he still?
Yeah, he's still further back in the entrance.
Maybe I'll see if I can go distract him to see if I don't know if there's a way to do that. That would be that would make sense. But you know, maybe if I distract him, will Santa, you know, have be more likely of going away, disappearing.
You can go talk to him if you want to.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so you swing down, or you head out back to the big peppermint archway.
Right.
He spins over and sees you, and he's like, Joe Rose, didn't see you come in here.
Yeah, Ed, it's what's does he know that I was in there? Probably.
Yeah, when he saw you walk out.
Right. Said Ed, there's quite a commotion going on there with Disco Santa.
Yeah, well, look, you guys just take care of him, and this will all be forgotten, right?
That's true. you know, maybe I can get you out of here for your own safety.
Look, I got the NYPD looking after me, and along with the LOST as well, helping me out. So I think I'm okay, but if I think I got to evacuate, I will.
Sure. It's do you have any suggestions for how to get rid of this Santa? Has he ever told you what he wanted?
You can tell he's getting really nervous at that.
Right.
He's like, I don't know what you're insinuating there.
One thing that you could do if you want
Yeah.
to is there's a figure.
Yeah,
someone out.
figure someone out.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's do it.
The character's good for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's better than
Okay, I'll just go. See what happens. Okay, I have
Nice.
All right.
7, 9. I have 9 total.
Okay, so you get to ask 2 questions.
Good suggestion. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, they hold one on you.
You don't get that 10.
Yeah.
I know, right?
You don't get that 10.
Who's pulling your character's strings?
There's nobody who's much more, who's like ahead of him, municipal power-wise. But I would say his desire to clean up the city is what's pulling his strings. That's motivating him.
Right. And I feel like some of these we have the answers to already a little bit, but
One that I might ask would be what is he hoping to get from?
yeah, okay, yeah. So Ed, what are you hoping to get from this getting rid of this demon disco Santa? It's seems like we've got a lot of other bigger problems on our hands than some guy who's a little bit too hyped up on his own product.
Well, I mean, he would say, like, just keeping New York safe. That's why I want him gone. No other reason than that. But you can tell that he's definitely worried about a humongous scandal coming out if it's discovered, if his connection to Disco Santa is discovered. So it's sort of like covering up a mistake he made.
Interesting.
Is why he wants Disco Santa gone. So you're gonna try and call him on that, or?
Yeah, I don't know how much more information we're gonna get out of him, you know, because I feel like unless I got something on him, you know. But yeah, let's try it. Let's do it.
There's
would-
not really much. I don't think there's anything that you could roll to do that. It's
Not
just sort of,
really.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's more of an RP thing. I think.
Yeah.
right. So you just bring it up.
Yeah, Ed, you seem like you're not telling me everything here. You know, is this what else do you know about this the being of Disco Santa?
All right. He like looks at her and he's like, all right, look. You got to promise not to tell anybody. The papers have a field day with this. Mayor summons Christmas demon. You know how that's gonna look?
What?
Can't really spin that.
Yeah, exactly. All right, yes. He's like lowering his voice. Yes, I summoned Disco Santa.
Did you do it on purpose?
Yes. I didn't know it would be this bad. Look,
It would be bad.
I just
It would be this bad.
I just wanted to make New York a little bit cleaner for the holidays, you know?
By
Something-
using Santa to get
Wait, something
to get rid of
He's supposed to like take people off the naughty list. I figure it would be like good at, getting the pimps and the junkies and all that stuff out of the way. I mean, I didn't know he'd be like murdering people. I figured he'd just like scare them. I don't know. Usually Santa gives you cookies or whatever. Maybe like I said, I celebrate Hanukkah. I don't know this whole Santa Michigas. Anyhow, the whole thing was a citywide gentrification plan that went horribly wrong.
all right.
So please, get back there and put an end to Santa.
Oh my god.
He actually reached in his coat. He's like, I used this particular artifact to help summon him. and it is a candy cane with the tip sharpened to a lethal point.
Oh.
Perhaps this could help you make Disco Santa boogie his way back to the North Pole or South Pole or wherever the hell he comes from.
The way to South Pole.
Right. Knowing him, South Pole. That's true. Great. That helps.
And please keep your mouth shut about this.
Well, Ed, it sounds like, I will, but I think you're gonna owe me a debt.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, he's going to agree to that.
Okay.
So you can mark down the mayor owes you a debt.
Great.
All right. So, meanwhile, back in the battle, Merle is maybe halfway out of it, but you can tell you could actually see the wings are starting to pulse out from his back, and a gout of fire rips out of his mouth. I'm gonna have you roll to keep your cool. How do you do there? 5. Okay, you're gonna take 1 more level of harm, and the fire blasts you back. So you get some superficial burns, and you are knocked away from Merle.
Okay.
Disco Santa has some nasty plans for you. He whistles, and you hear Rudolph with your nose so bright, and a horrible skeleton reindeer smashes its way out of the exhibit with, of course, a glowing red nose and tip of its skull, and rams its antlers into you. So let's have you roll to keep your cool.
And keep my cool is with blood, so that's going to be a 9.
Okay. You could bump it up to a 10 if you want to use one of those best laid plan points.
Oh, I will bump it
Yes.
up to a 10 with that best late.
All right, nice. So
Thank you.
how do you handle this charging skeletal reindeer?
By simply maneuvering myself to Santa's back as opposed to his front where I was.
Ooh, all right. The reindeer runs straight by and smashes into the side of the tree. You are still being tackled by a bunch of these elves. Tucci, let's have you roll a quick keep
Do
your cool.
I get to attack him though, or?
This is all kind of under his turn. I'm just
Oh,
all
okay.
the baddies.
Just
do it,
double check.
so
Okay.
We'll pop back to top of the order.
Sure.
Let's have you roll a keep your cool for your elves.
Yeah, 5.
Okay, yeah, I don't think a point would help that,
Nope.
sadly.
No, but if he has a point, and then there's one of us that can assist.
Oh, okay. I can do it.
I can dismiss all harm someone suffers from an attack,
I,
Oh, all right.
but I don't know if does that actually take
no, you'd have to want to get me out of the situation.
out of the get right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what they're asking. But
Oh,
I'll
isn't
just
it if
take
you-
the 6.
Yeah, if you roll to assist and
Or
you,
Yeah, and then add a
Plus
point.
one.
I can bring it to a 7. All right, so who's going to try and help our Wraith there?
I can give it a shot. I don't have any.
I mean, not Wraith. I can basically... Because you're
I
a
am a
ghost.
Wraith.
Yes, you are sort of a
Like
Wraith.
Spectre.
Literally, yeah.
Spectre.
Yeah.
Who's going to help Tucci
I'll give
there?
it a shot. No.
oh,
I'll make you waste the point.
but at least you got to roll a 9.
That's true.
Yeah, that's something. All right, so you're going to take 1 more level of harm there from the
Just
ghosts.
trying to get your
The
factions.
ghost elves clawing at you. All right, Wraith, we're back to you.
All right. Does it look like the bindings have anything to do with the ritual?
Possibly.
Okay.
You might want to roll investigate a place of power
Sure.
or let it out.
Let's see. What would I be rolling for investigate?
Be wild. Because it is Demon Santa, but I think you might have done. I don't know if that's
I've-
worthwhile.
Yeah.
All right, why don't you give me a let it out?
Sure. That's better. 9.
Okay, do you want to spend a point there and make it a 10?
Sure. Sounds good.
Ooh, all right. So with that, yeah, this is like you could see enchantments woven into the ribbons that are tying up
Okay.
Merle.
Okay, so I guess with that 10, I can choose one other from the list. So I'm going to take +1 forward and take a definite hold of the wrappings and just get rid of them.
Okay, I'm not gonna make you roll for that because they are just like wrapping paper.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
Enchanted wrapping paper.
yes.
Still
So
wrapping paper.
you unwrap that present and you can see that Merle is like calming down, and now just steam is coming out of his face there. Okay, Max.
Good.
You got a reindeer, a bunch of ghost elves, and Disco Santa himself. And obviously, this is just when Joe Rose returns with the candy cane.
Well, Max will do what Max does best, and he will bite. He will bite Santa Claus. Because he bites everyone.
Yes.
He bites all the baddies. 'Cause you never know what's going to happen. So that'll be a 12.
Whoa. Okay, so you're
on a
feeding
12,
on him?
and I just happen to have the advanced move
Mm-hmm.
because that was one of the things I did. So on a 12 plus, my target either surrenders completely, or I choose to incapacitate them. Or actually, I'm sorry, that was Eternal Hunger.
Oh, yeah.
So that would just be choosing 3. So I learn a secret about them, and I take +1 going forward. I don't have 1 to heal. And the only reason I'm able to do that is because I do have the adaptable palate, which states that feeding on something wildly different than human will have unexpected side effects.
Ooh.
But that's all what's in good fun.
All right. I will say the secret you learn is how to summon him.
Okay.
So you now like the components and the recipe for the ritual that will summon Disco Santa, or whatever he cloaks himself in with the popular trends of whatever era he comes from, or he's summoned in. So you can now summon Evil Santa as one of your abilities. It's a ritual. It takes a while to do. You got to get the got to lay out like a candy cane pentagram kind of thing. But yeah, you can now unleash Evil Santa on your enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, at least with this one.
And I'll keep that +1 going forward, and I don't have anything to heal, so I guess I'll just pick the last option, which is that he doesn't die.
Okay, yeah, he's not gonna die.
So,
All right, Tucci.
These elves that are attacking me must be in the physical realm as well, in order to do so, or no?
They're more in the spirit realm.
But the Santa Claus is in the physical world.
Yes.
I pick up the Christmas tree and stab him with it.
Oh,
I have
yes.
telekinesis, so
Oh.
I'm going to pick that up
Wow.
and just...
That's hilarious.
All right, you need to roll for that one, or
It's just telekinesis. Mark corruption to do it.
all right. The Christmas
That
tree.
much corruption already.
Yeah.
That
I've
Christmas
been
tree
doing singles and triples this whole time.
Okay.
Yeah.
swings down to the side and just whoosh
See, we knew that
rushes
star
over,
was gonna come in handy at some point.
rams into Santa Claus, impales him back into his
all
chair.
that wood.
Oh yeah. Narrowly dodged that, and he is now stabbed and trapped and stopped against this throne.
It's amazing what happens when you change your physical being.
Joan Rose.
Yeah. Well, I've got this.
Yeah,
this
Santa
pretty
Claus.
Sweet candy cane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the answer, and it's pretty pointy, and it looks like this should just be plunged straight into Santa. Can we get close enough?
Yeah, he's impaled, so he's
Right.
pretty.
Let's do
He's
it.
stopped there, so he looks to you. He's
think-
just like, end it.
And let's unleash that attack. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
12.
There you go.
That's a end shot right
All
there.
right.
Yes.
Yes,
It is.
and I will say that is
Crit.
the end of Disco Santa
Crit.
for now.
Wow.
You ram the candy cane home. Like, where do you put it?
I think,
between the eyes?
yeah, actually. I think
my
like
favorite
probably
spot.
like right between the eyes.
I
I think.
approve.
Yeah.
Oh man, it like droops down, or no, like a bunch of amazingly red blood comes down, goes into his nose. He's got he's got that bright red nose like in the poem, and then he just goes like, oh, and just turns into a bunch of sparkles, which fall down, collapsing over the. Just a whole bunch of snowflakes and shimmering snowflakes
Oh.
fall over the throne. The elves and the reindeer skeleton collapse. Tucci?
It just made me think of something. Is the cocaine there?
Oh, yeah, the suitcase is right there under the chair.
And out of all those snowflakes that fall, does that snowflake pendant that he was wearing one of them, or is that separate?
Yeah, I would say that like that actually falls off and like rolls right next to your foot.
Oh. And what happens to that
Just
candy
to
cane?
leave that at that.
Yeah, it stays there. It's in your hand still.
Okay. It exists in this
Yes.
robe. Yeah. Okay.
All right, and with that, Mayor Koch comes like creeping back. Merle like sits up and like blinks his eyes, and he's like, "Ugh, it was terrible. I could feel the monster inside of me coming out, but I guess I made it through. Well, just gotta thank you guys, and I don't know, maybe it seems kind of corny to say it, but God bless us, everyone."
Right.
And by the way,
We almost had to cancel Christmas.
I know, Christmas is not canceled. So,
Oh, man.
and by the way, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Ugh.
I will
He just
say-
kind of collapses, his energy spent.
I will say, Merle, your dragon, I wouldn't call it evil per se, but if you are able to figure out a way to use those powers for good, you may be redeemed in the end.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, I suppose I could say that's my Christmas wish. And with that, we will bring this holiday extravaganza to a close. So, I do hope you enjoyed Disco Santa's Cocaine Christmas. We'll kind of go
It's
around
just
a
fun to
final
say.
time. It is very fun to say. It's a catchy title.
It
I'm proud of it. I want to know. I mean, I don't really need these closing moves for these characters, but I really liked them. I do hope they come back, especially some of those recurring characters. Although maybe they can all be recurring. But let me go around and ask you guys, what do you think happens to your characters after 1977 New York? Or they stay here? Do they move out? They pursue bigger things. I know maybe that's what's going to happen in Max's case. But let's start with Wraith. What happens to him after Christmas in 1978, when the new year rolls around?
Right. I will say I think he does have a few other things that he needs to do for Yama in New York, and then he'll just follow wherever he is needed. At this point, he sort of just goes where there's whispers of demons, and he's sort of the other person that Yama turns to when Shin is not around. Shin is another character from.
Yeah, another tainted
Yes.
servant of Yama.
Oh.
Yeah.
How about Joe Rose?
I think that the events that have transpired with Mayor Ed, there are some debts to be paid, and there's some questions that need to be answered. Number one of the main motivation for Joe Rose is to find their partner somewhere, Joe knows that their partner got sucked into the dark demonistic side of the underbelly of the city, and so I think they're gonna try and find them and turn them back. And so the main question is, where did Ed get that candy cane? How can Ed help, because he has the most power currently, and Joe knows how the game is played, and I think that we'll use the information from today to use that
keep
nugget.
searching.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
like
think they'll
it.
probably go back to Crimson, and continue. to people
Kind of
watch
plumbing the
there.
depths of the underworld.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
we'll go deeper. So.
Cool.
You do now have contact in said underworld.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, you have a couple.
Right.
How about Max?
Well, Max will make sure that Crimson is being run to his liking, and then after that, he will probably wheel and deal and try to exchange a debt to Joe to try to get the debt that she holds on
Yeah.
Mr. Tucci, because
Oh, right.
having someone who's not seen that can go in and out and just not be noticed, even by the likes of Max, is something he's very interested in.
Oh yeah, I
And
mean
as
everybody.
he puts it, he could be beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Oh, I like it. Everybody needs a monster
Joe
ghost
too, so I'll
pal.
cancel that.
And
Yes.
what about the spirit of Tucci? Is the hammer staying in New York and continuing to kind of haunt?
I realize what a bumbler Quincy is now. I tell him he better do humanitarian work or I'll haunt him till the end of his days.
Man,
Yes.
awesome.
It's in the wrong line. And then I will seek the possibility of ghosts that do things of my interest. Not so great things always.
Oh, okay.
So,
Kind of like
I'm
that,
still
building
an
a
monster.
body of spirits, but sort of for
Right.
your own purposes.
right, because I realize now I'm part of this other world, but I feel alone as I'm supposed to be. So I have to try to seek out other spirits that understand. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that would be my sort of mission. Of course, around New York first. See what else is there. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're gonna see, the old, those old familiar faces.
So I have a question actually about this particular world, and is so like if you do end up building up like a body of more spirits, does that mean that you are able to use like a collective power from that, or is there like what are some of the advantages of that?
Well, like him, he gets to go different city locations that are established with vampire clans, and then he has contacts there already, which means it's easier for him to like hit the streets on stuff if he needs his friends to help him out, or they already might have information on people within those locations because they've already been established there, like this other person. So he's like I'm already in the know by coming to another place where I have familiar kin or just familiar factions.
Oh,
Things like
okay.
Yeah, a lot of the playbooks let you kind of build like a werewolf pack
Right.
or a body of ghosts. In
Right,
this
yeah,
case, they're a vampire clan.
I was hoping to have somebody show me New York, because, today New York, tomorrow...
that.
Ooh.
Cool.
But I have to be okay with giving you deaths.
All right. Well, we will
Favor I
see.
cannot refuse.
Yeah.
We will see how that works out. Perhaps in a future episode of Generation Shadow. We're actually going to take the next 2 weeks off for the holidays. Happy holidays to all. But we will be back January 7th or 8th.
I think, yeah,
That
7th?
should work.
Is that the first Tuesday?
First Tuesday of
Yeah.
January.
Maybe 6 is Monday.
Continuing.
Yeah. That's when I start working.
Yeah, continuing our Belfast 1975 arc, which has been a lot of fun so far, and we'll have, I know these two guys return, some other returning players, and a visit in Boston.
Come in.
Yeah, and Madeline, thank you so much for joining
Oh,
us.
thank you so much for having me. This is great. I really appreciate it. This was really
Oh.
fun.
Yeah, please, whenever you
We'll get
want,
it. This is
Generation
really-
Shadow would love to have you.
Amazing.
Yes, thank you everyone for hanging out with us. Thank you so much. Never split the party for the raid. We got a few new viewers tonight because of that. Thank you very much. You're always very, very kind to us. So enjoy the rest of your evening wherever you're at. But make sure over the next few weeks while we're not playing, make sure you pull up a chair and make time to tabletop. All right, everyone. Have an amazing night, amazing holiday.
We should have warned you.